Hi everyone, this is the startup video of my 2002 Honda S2000. I'm going to start the video with a startup, and then I'm going to kind of go around a few of the interior features of the car, and we'll go over the engine bay, and then I'll walk you around it and kind of try to point out anything as far as flaws in the exterior so you can have a clear view of the car. I'm going to put the key in, and I have to switch hands because of the starter button on the left side. It starts right up great. I purchased the car with 92,000 miles or 93,000 miles on it in October of 2020. The AC blows very cold. I have it in convertible mode right now because I almost never drive it with the top up. But you can hear it blowing, and I'm sure you can feel how cool it is through the video. I'm just kidding. So the AC works fine, heater works fine. A couple of notes for the interior of the car. One is I added my aftermarket stuff right here. I added an aftermarket JVC head unit, and I made sure for my own purposes that it had USB for power, as well as Bluetooth. I did that because I wanted to be able to charge my phone in the car and listen to sort of modern media. I kept the factory head unit that will come with the car, and everything that goes with it. I also added this aftermarket cell phone mount, and this is actually a really neat design because it does not affect or drill into anything permanently on the car. It attaches right here. There's two screws that go back to where the radio mounts, so it mounts just on top of the radio. So that's also completely removable and returnable to stock, and you'll never know it was there. But I found it really convenient for me to be able to plug in a plug right there, charge my phone, and listen to some music. Other notes on the interior, you can't really see well through the video. This has a Robin's hardtop. I got the nicer one that Robin sells. I thought they did a really good job with the top. These things right here, note that these are not patches. That's a common wear point in the Honda S2000 convertible tops. So they reinforce it when you buy the top, so hopefully it lasts a little longer than the original ones did. My top that I replaced was a Honda top. I don't know how long it lasted, but it was in decent condition when I replaced it, but not obviously perfect enough to keep it. But everything works. All the features work. The cruise control works. Air conditioner works. There's nothing non-functioning in the car. Power roof works fine. Cup holder works great for a small drink. Shifts smooth as butter, but you'll see that in the driving video later. Yeah, and I mean, that's about it for the interior. A couple things to note on the seats. The passenger side is in amazing condition. No flaws at all on the seat. The driver's side, I'm going to get out and show you. The driver's side has a little bit of wear to this bolster. When I bought the car, I thought this would be noticeable, but in driving it, honestly, I don't notice. And then there's this wear to the leather. There's absolutely no tear at all in the leather. I was kind of afraid when I bought the car that I would end up wanting to do replacement seats for it, because I'm kind of anal about that kind of stuff. But once I've owned the car, honestly, I don't look at that part of the bolster that much. There's no tear, there's no effect on me, so it just never became a priority to do that for me. You can see the top right here. I focused mainly when purchasing this car on maintenance and keeping it in tip-top condition. We did the rear differential fluid, transmission fluid, and engine oil when I first bought it. I also took it to an alignment place that specializes in Miatas and S2000s. And I did an alignment, and you'll see right here the receipt. They kind of looked over everything on the suspension. They did not recommend replacing anything. That was in January of 2021, and not much has changed because I've probably only driven it, 2,000 miles since then. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the engine bay, or open up the hood so we can see the engine bay, and note a couple little things in here. One is the battery. The seller purchased a brand new battery. I think he cheaped out on the battery when I first bought the car. He had put about 4,000 miles on the car in the previous few years, so it looks like he treated about the same as me. I have kept it on a battery tender most of the time, and haven't had any problems with it, but that's that. You can see I installed here an aftermarket cold air intake. It's a Takeda. I probably horribly mispronouncing it. AFE cold air intake. I thought it was kind of neat. I'm sure it adds zero power, but it makes it sound cool. So I did that, and I haven't touched much on the engine bay. I thought about doing the flakes, fixing these little flakes, but it never kind of bothered me enough. As you can see down here, I use the OEM Honda oil filters. If you purchase these cars and you haven't, if you purchased this car and you haven't had one before, I would recommend only using the OEM Honda filters for these cars, as some people I believe has had some bad luck with aftermarket filters. Let's kind of go around and look at the little imperfections I've been able to find in the car. I'm going to go start with the driver's side fender and go around. On the driver's side view mirror, I don't know if you can see that little, it's a very, very light scratch right here, and there's some tiny rock chips right here. If I continue around, this car, I believe on the Carfax, was in a fender bender earlier in its life. I think all it had was a rear bumper replacement. But as you can see here, the fitment is not absolutely perfect. It's hard to notice, and I really don't notice it unless I look at it, but I do want to point it out. The third brake light, there's a little crack here in the third brake light. I looked into replacing it. The cheapest one I can find is like $700, and that is just not a $700 problem for me. As we go around, you'll see in the pictures of the wheels, they have some wear on the wheels, nothing too significant. Here on the side skirt on the bottom, we'll see a black mark right here. I tried to clay bar it out, it wouldn't come out. I wonder if polishing would work, because the clay bar got a little bit of it out. There's also a line right here, but this, if I feel the texture, this feels like it might be a scratch that's not going to be fixed by polish or clay bar. And there's a couple other little chips. But if you go out in the car, obviously you can see it's very difficult to notice. The worst part of the car is this passenger side fender. I don't know if you can see this scratch right here, and these light scratches right here. This rock chip right here, and then these very light scratches right here. Those came with the car, so I don't have a cool story about those. And then on the front bumper, we see this. I'll try to clay bar this out before I post. I think that one will come out. But then on the bottom, you just have some wear from the previous owner bottoming out. It looks like on driveways maybe. Other than that, the car is in perfect condition. Mechanically, everything is perfect on it. Suspension wise, everything is perfect. The brakes are awesome. As far as tires, I typically like to run the Michelin Pilot Sports, but they do not make them in these size for the Honda S2000. So the next best alternative I found was the Continental Extreme Contact Sport. These tires have been great so far, and they have about 2,000 miles on them. This rear driver's side one, I replaced it about 3 months ago. So the other ones have about 1,000 miles less on them. And I replaced it because I was driving home in my neighborhood, and apparently I got a nail in it. So I just left the car here and took the tire to discount and got a new one. But yeah, the car is great. It's given me no troubles at all. It has been a joy to own, and you will see in the driving video, I'll give you a little more information on that. Thank you.